That was tranquil shit, bro.
Pop goes the Weasel because the Weasel goes pop.
I can't. I don't even have the intro ready.
So tired now. I feel like I'm in a
think you went to sleep listening to that. Run the intro, bro.
Yeah.
This shit put you to sleep, bro.
That almost put me to sleep. What is up, Defects? I heard that our the beginning of the show was getting cut off by some ads. So instead of doing the 30-second timer, we went to the full minute. So hopefully we didn't lose too many of you. But it is Monday Night Live. We got a jam-packed show tonight. So we're going to get started real quick. But first, I got to say what up to my boys. Guy Forge, what up, brother? What did you got down there?
I got a little high noon, little pineapple. They are not sponsoring the show tonight, but I'm drinking them anyway. So
there you go.
I'm excited for tonight. This is gonna be good. Something a little different. Mix it up.
The Butcher, I know you wish you had a high noon or something alcoholic in your life right now.
Yeah, actually, you know what I do? I am. The house is dry right now. It was a long weekend, so I'm kind of recuperating. But like Matt said, action-packed show tonight. Something different again. Guy fluffed you last week with some pop talk, so some Funko talk. So we're gonna get into it. A special guest we're excited to bring on in a little bit, and that's it, guys. Our usual shenanigans. You know how it goes.
Yo, what you got over your shoulder over there? You got something special back
right?
there?
You like that, right? Which way do I? Oh no, it's this way.
Oh, there you go.
Oh man, that's crazy.
That's the Frag Boy painting right there. Super excited. Got it. Once I get back on IG, if I ever get back on social media, what I absolutely hate, I will definitely post it and give him a shout out. I'm trying to get him on the show, but he's a shy guy. But you guys all seen his work. Super excited. The second one's on its way. I couldn't do one. I get you go big or go home, right?
How to do the bookends.
So one of my pictures got taken down. Is that what you're telling me? One of my pictures.
Yes. So I got one picture for you. You still got the Spider-Man up there. Almost ready for you.
We'll wait for it.
Absolutely.
All right. So a little bit of an agenda. What do we got tonight? So like Jay talked about, we have a guest coming on. We're going to be comparing markets. Like over the last few weeks, we've touched on a little bit about trying to figure out what is going on with the comic book market to see kind of where it's headed. So we have a better idea of whether to buy now, wait, hold, sell, all that good stuff. So we're going to do another layer of investigation by looking at a different collectible market, namely the Funko Pop market. Okay, so we have somebody on that specializes in that. That's her bag. And then we're going to show some sales data of some comic books we talked about last week. This way we could kind of see where the trends are from 2019, 2020, 2021, and 2022. And get a better picture on what's happening right now. We're not making any judgments tonight, probably, but we're just building. We're building our case, I feel like. And this is just another building block. So before we get into all this, the Butcher 105 is going to hit you with those sponsors.
Oh, I wasn't ready. I wasn't paying attention. But
I know you weren't.
I'm good at this now. So first up, guys, we got our boy, the Presser Erod 212 with Express Comic Book Pressing Service. Defects 10 gets you 10% off. Not only that, Erod is nice enough to pass along his discount from CGC and CBCS. So hit Erod up. He will blaze your books, and tell him that the Defects sent you. And next up, everybody's favorite beaver, Mutant Beaver Comics, one of the world's largest and best online comic shops for exclusive variants, shipping worldwide. That's right. They ship anywhere in the world. Defects 10% off. Tell Pat and the B-Man the Defects sent you.
Like Jay always says,
that?
Do not.
That was the soothing
flawless.
The soothing voice of the Butcher 105.
And like you say, don't ever Google Mutant Beaver without the comments.
Don't ever.
I always say that. So.
All right, so we're getting started, boys. Anything else before we get into it?
Let's get into it.
I think we're excited.
Okay.
How many people we got in here?
We got 88 right now.
Naturally.
So let's bring a guest in.
Why not?
Naturally.
There she
Jassy
is.
H1K, what is up?
Hello. Thanks for having me on.
Of course. So Guy built you up last week a little bit. We talked a little bit about Funko Pops, and we said, you know what? We got to bring on somebody that talks about Funko Pops. So why don't you give the chat a quick little rundown about what you do, what your channel's about, and just give us a little intro of yourself.
Okay. Well, when I started, this was right when I'd been collecting Pops, I guess, for a little bit before, not super heavily into it or anything, but COVID hit. The place that I worked shut down. So myself and my best friend, my partner, Dan, he kind of was the one that came up with the idea that I get further into this and make social media pages and get more into collecting. And then, why not try to sell things? So prior to that, I really didn't have any social media. Just like you, I'm not a fan. There is a lot more negativity, I feel like, that comes out of it for a majority of the time. But anyways, now, about 2 years later, I went from House of 1,000 Pops. If you know anything about me, or when I started, that was my name.
Yep.
Everywhere. And then I kind of dove into YouTube and selling, and like just the content creating and the selling, like reselling part of it. I kind of started both at the same time, because you see a lot of people that do both, or one or the other,
right?
Rather. But you don't see a lot of people that are really into both content creating, the reels, the videos, all of that, and then sell that item just as much. So I really we went headfirst into both, and that's what I do. I make videos about collecting, reselling mystery boxes. I sell mystery boxes. I do claim sales for Funko Pops. That's really what I do.
Yeah, no, it was, I stumbled across your channel probably about 2 months ago when I started looking at other collectible content to kind of get a sense of, I wanted to figure out the other collectible markets. And I was, scrolling, and I saw you, and, you made me laugh. Like, I saw some of your Instagram reels, and I was like, oh, she's funny. I was like, she does the movie quotes. I was like, right up my alley. But then I started watching your YouTube, and I'm like, you started to, one of the things that really stuck out to me was the shipping, because shipping comics is like my biggest thing. And I could tell, like, you're a stickler about shipping too with the Funkos, I'm sure for obvious reasons. So we'll get into that a little bit. But that, to me, I was like, okay, right up my alley. I'll watch a little bit more. And then it seemed like, and like you said, there's not a lot, and even on the comic side, there's not a lot of people that do that content creation plus sell, right? We have a good friend, Very Gary, that he does the same thing, where he does a lot of content, but he also, his main thing is selling. So that's what kind of got me into watching more of your videos, because I was able to see like pricing and market, things like that, market analysis a little bit. And so I said, you know what, why not have you on, and let's have a little discussion about some prices of Pops, what they've been doing. And I know Guy Forge just wants to talk about Pops because now he's into Pops. So we'll do a little bit of both. We'll have some fun with just the discussion, and we'll get doing a little bit of data. All right. So you mentioned mystery boxes, and I wanted to give this one to Jay, because Jay hates comic book mystery boxes. Oh. So Jay, you want to find out like what's the difference between the two?
Yeah, so okay, so the reason I don't like comic mystery boxes is because I just feel like it's a way for people to get rid of stuff that they don't really want and necessarily can't sell individually. I can't say the same for Pops because I don't collect Pops. I don't know much about the hobby, but is it based on like would you set up a mystery box saying you could get a possible video game character, cartoon character, comic book character, or is it just completely random? Is there like a category of pop culture that someone requests, or it's just anything?
So I guess as far as mystery boxes, there are two ways people go about it. There are one where you would call them curated mystery boxes. So basically you set a price point, you get a bunch of details from your, customer, so to speak. And basically you are putting together a bunch of pops in the category or genres that they are interested in the price range that they paid for. Now, there are the other set of mystery boxes, which are supposed to be 100% random. And they could be guaranteed value, meaning that you will get what you paid, not including shipping, because that's, again, that's not part of that. But, or there are people, I do sometimes myself, like Grail or Fails, where you have a few different really expensive top hits, but you have more boxes in the run that are cheaper. So it helps balance out, your cost in those higher end grails versus the amount of boxes, etc. But to relate, like in relation back to comics, there are some companies, for example, that order from Funko, right? And you have to order a certain amount of product in order to maintain that relationship with Funko. So what a lot of companies do, and it's not the greatest thing, and you kind of see it a little bit more. I've seen it be kind of an issue more recently, but companies will do, it'll be a 6-pack. One of those pops are a chase. The other 5 are common. They'll take the chase, they'll sell the chase, and then they'll put those 5 commons in the mystery box run. Instead of 5 of those, though, there could be 15, 20 of the same pop. So sometimes companies that don't really care will do kind of what you would call an inventory dump.
Okay.
Yeah.
Companies that do care genuinely about what the collectors get and the buyers are getting will put more effort into what is going into their boxes.
Okay.
I feel you on the.
So is it like overall...
you know what?
Go ahead, Jack.
When you first started answering the question, I thought of another question while you were talking. So you talked about price points of pops, right? So how does that work? Like, I know you said like you get a chase and like there's exclusive variants, like, but is there like a guide people could go to where almost like comic books have GPA, or I'm sure like pops, like you check last sold on eBay and stuff. Is that pretty much what sets the price point for like certain pops? Like, as for instance, like the grails and stuff, is it based on like rarity?
Oh my God. I feel like I'm you asking about, like, is there a place to scan comics? Because I really don't.
We could answer that.
So yes, there is. There's, the Funko app, which again, I really don't recommend because they have a lot of their stickers messed up when you scan it. So prices are all weird. But Pop Price Guide or HobbyDB, that is where you would. Now, this is excluding really rare, for example, like Freddy Funko as Venom is a very limited piece. They sell for probably like 20 to 30 grand in private groups.
Wow.
So Pop Price Guide or PPG.
How many of those do you have?
None. I don't. 0. But a lot of those like much higher end pops that don't sell publicly, Pop Price Guide is not a good place because, again, they might have the last recorded eBay sale 10 years ago. So that doesn't really play a big part into figuring out what that pop would be worth now. So for new to kind of older pops, it's a really good base point to figure out your pricing for pops. Pop Price Guide, you'll see PPG, that means the same thing, or HobbyDB. It is all one big thing now. They have an app, all that good stuff. You can scan.
Oh, there you go.
So there's.
I wish we
so
could
there's-
scan, right?
Yeah, there's
Yeah,
tons
it's-
of resources out. The private group, that's crazy. As soon as you said that, I pictured like a rich British guy in a tuxedo at an auction, like 30 grand for the Venom Pop.
I mean,
I
more
did-
of like private, like
Yeah,
Facebook,
no, I get
Facebook sales. You know,
Same-
private message, kind of like
same
that.
thing. Same thing with comic books. Same exact thing. Only different
But
sources.
no guides, right?
Yeah.
No guides in comics for private sales at all. So that's just kind of more of you have to do your own research. But
I think
that's
Pop Price Guide Pop Price Guide is a section now, kind of like of HobbyDB, that is only pop related, only Funko related.
okay.
And then HobbyDB is actually all collectibles, and they have comics too, I believe. You guys should take a look
I
at
gotta
that,
take a
because
look at that.
I am. Oh my god, I know very little about comics or any kind of.
I see
ton
some
of-
slabs there.
Just because the art on the cover is sick. I know absolutely nothing about them though. So, but I've talked to Christian, who is the founder of HobbyDB, and he incorporates all collectibles. So I know that he is working more into making sure that there's as much information on every collectible possible. So that's kind of like their goal, like future goal. So you guys should check it out, create an account and look some stuff up and see
I
how
gotta check that
accurate
out.
it is.
There
Yeah.
you go. I want to get
Sorry,
into the No, you're good. I love it. I love the detail. I love the animation. These guys always make fun of me because I always talk with my hands. I always get laughed at. So I'm glad now I got
that's the
balance
Italian
tonight.
in you
Well,
guys.
let's
I got
let's
the
talk about
balance
what deep dive said. He said, "Do you think if
Yeah.
someone held down her hands, would she be able to speak?" So you're fitting.
That's okay.
You're fitting right
That's
in with
okay.
everybody.
That's how
It'll
we
be
talk.
like awkward shoulder movement.
So I want to talk. I really want to talk more about the pops. But let's start. I want to cross over into comics a little bit. So with the comics, we kind of know. Most people in the chat know what drives the market right now, right? It's the MCU. It's the movies. It's the shows. It's some major comic book releases will drive a price up or down, whether the show was good or bad, or the character, a casting, a director. These are the things that make prices move. Okay, I have to imagine in pops it's similar, but that can't be the only thing. Or maybe I'm wrong. So, what makes a pop go up and down in value?
I mean, pretty much the same thing. It's all. For example, I'm horrible because I'm not into the whole Marvel universe and all that, but some of like the new movies that came out, in the trailers before the movies, if there are new Marvel movie trailers that hint of like a certain character might be returning, that's something that, I mean, that small thing, you'll start to see that like common pop go up a little bit more in value and so on. But there's a lot of different things, I guess, that affect the collectible market. Just like any other collectible, it's multiple things. We got to get into specifics.
I'm guessing. So with comics, it's comic book characters, right? Obviously, but with pops, there's so many different genres. Like if there's a Tom Brady pop and he retires, I could imagine that going up. If a video game is hot and comes out, I could imagine that character comes out.
Mhm.
If it's Halloween time, I could imagine Frankenberry goes up. So does it kind of does it work like that? So it pretty much works the same. Whatever character's hot on
Pretty much.
TV or social media will drive prices up, and based on the rarity, that'd be the most expensive one, correct?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So I have a question. This is, and I know people are getting into these a lot. Is pops that are like signed? Forget about like remarked ones, because we'll talk about that too. But the boxes that are signed by either the voices of the character, the actors who played the character, like all these different things, or the actual actors too. I'm sure you have something close to you, right?
I have
Yeah.
I have multiple.
Your Ghostface, is that the one you're picking?
There you go.
This is actually
I
my
knew that.
first ever signed pop, when I started collecting, I spent $300 on this bad boy from, I think, Canada. And this is literally it. You see this pink sticky in the background? It has the legitimate date in which I purchased this. It's a weird.
So obviously that's yours and you're keeping that.
I will be buried with this.
I figured that much. So my question is, even if, let's say, you weren't keeping it, like that, you paid $300 for it how many years ago?
Oh, when I paid $300 for this, and it has 2 authenticated signatures, voice of Ghostface and Skeet Ulrich. I think just Ghostface, the value of the pop. Now there's a difference between. So let me take this. This is actually, I guess, semi important nowadays. So this is not the OG Ghostface. Technically, OG Ghostface is one word, so there's no separation. This is the re-release.
See, you're learning.
Details matter.
You're learning. Second prints. Hello.
Back when I started, they didn't differentiate between the 2 pops. It was all the same price, although people would always pay a little bit more for the one word. This pop was probably like $150 when I paid $300 for the autographs and the pop. Currently, this 2-word is worth $320 without signatures. This is no signatures, just this pop alone. So this has gone up quite a bit.
So a couple of Freebird the Nerd in the chat read my mind. You think at any point, or is there now, like a company that will grade pops and, put them in kind of like a CGC slab like you got behind you?
Oh, that's never mind. I just had a 2-pack in a graded box, like a slab, and it went in my mystery box run. But I'm going to tell you before we get into that it's not worth it to do that to a pop.
Not yet.
It's almost, it's not that $100K Willy Wonka. I might go get that encased.
Right. Gotcha.
Regular, just everyday pops, even the higher, it just doesn't really make sense.
But
to grade them.
Here's the question. Because if there's money there to be made, does it make sense? You know what I'm saying? Like what company slabs or encases these right now?
Actually, I can't remember off the top of my head. The company that encased that 2-pack isn't actually greatly known. They don't have great reviews. Gotcha. But the point, I guess, to us is not so much, okay, this is graded. They're focusing on condition. With a pop like 2-pack, we're more focused and concerned on whether it's real or not. So normally if it's slabbed, they're saying, okay, this is real. There you go. VVGS is the company. They don't have great reviews, so I definitely don't want to say yay or nay on them. I have mixed feelings, but it's a way to say, if you trust the company that, okay, this is real, we know it. It may not be in the greatest condition. Like the 2-pack I had was a 7.5, which is, again, weird because comic grading and pop grading is really very different. And even when they graded the pop, they called it a 7.5. I would have called that damaged. And you shouldn't have wasted your money on putting that in a thing. But it doesn't make, I don't know, it just doesn't make as much sense. Not very many people will pay extra because a pop is encased. I think it's actually kind of more annoying than anything because we have a particular way to stack certain things. So it's not great.
So
I was going to say, well, I think probably a few years ago, people wouldn't have thought about grading video games or VHS tapes, but that's becoming a thing. But
Sure.
I don't know. I mean, I see what you're saying about the pops, and maybe time will tell if that actually becomes a thing or not. Like that become more valuable if they're, because a couple people in our chat are saying it's harder to sell a graded pop. It's not worth as much. So it sounds like that's where it is right now.
Yeah.
Sorry, Jay. I didn't mean to cut you off, Jay. What were you saying?
What was I gonna say? We know from you're from the East Coast, so is it like you sell all the West Coast rapper pops and keep all the East Coast for yourself? You got the Biggie pop back there?
No, I'm not. My collection now is, aside from my friends' pops, all of my collection is pretty much horror related, one way or
Right
another.
up Guy's alley.
Yeah, I was gonna get into that because like I was so excited, all this stuff, and following you from the beginning just scared the shit out of me. So I mean, the stuff you did, the stuff you did to your face, I was like, Jesus Christ!
I gotta get back into that. This table right here holds all of that makeup. You're right under it.
There you go. You gotta do it for Guy because he really likes horror, right, Guy? Really likes horror.
No.
That's why that's the real reason we brought you on. I was like, I need somebody with pops that loves horror to just fuck with Guy. So that was all for Guy. Yeah. She had the Ghostface nails on the other day.
Yeah, I was going to ask you.
Oh, look, she still got them. Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Those are awesome.
Spirit fingers.
I was going to ask you what your favorite pop was, but obviously is Ghostface your favorite one?
Yeah.
Is that so? That's is that your most expensive as well?
No, probably not.
Well, I have a signed Captain Spaulding, although it's not authenticated. I'm 99% sure it's real, but I'll never say 100 until it actually is authenticated.
So it's so funny you said that because I met Sid Haig, Captain Spaulding, and he was awesome. He was here in Westchester. I got something signed to him that I actually gave to a friend of the channel because he's a huge House of 1,000.
Where did you go? Did you go to Undiscovered Realm?
Yes, those are my guys over there.
Yes, I love Chris. That's awesome. I have 3 of those NECA figures that were signed by him at that time. I have them still for sale.
He was awesome. But it's funny because that's one of my favorite. I'm more of a Devil Rejects guy, but House of 1,000 Corpses was good. But Devil Rejects, that's my shit right there.
Now we know where House of 1,000 collect, and there goes Guy. As soon as the horror talk starts, Guy goes away. But I'm assuming that's where House of 1,000. House of 1,000. You want to see
the best House of 1,000 Corpses poster you'll ever see in your life? Now this was
Can I am I going to be able to sleep tonight? That's all I'm saying.
You want to see this. So this is a silk screen. This is an actual silk screen, and this was given to me by not given, I bought it, but what the hell? Greg. It's been so long. Greg Reinhardt. He was the one that created all of the art for all of the House of 1,000 Corpses, Devil's Rejects, 3 from Hell, all of the artwork for them. I got to chat with him a little bit on Instagram. He sent me a message one day, said that he had one of these left. He was going to put it on eBay, but he wanted to know if I wanted it. And I was like, F yes.
Obviously.
So this is probably, after my Ghostface, my second most cherished item.
I gotta see this. This was a big build-up, so this better be really good.
Can you see that?
Oh, there you go.
That's awesome.
I can't get any closer because I'm literally attached to my thing, but
it's okay. It's okay.
That works
Cherry
for us.
Moon
That's defect.
ass.
That's defect approved.
That is literally. I mean, who doesn't want that ass in their office every day of their life?
You just became a defect.
Tutti fucking fruity.
Yeah, tutti fucking fruity. Oh my god.
I'm gonna say I have a Ralph Macchio signed pop. That's like my favorite one in my collection. It's Danny LaRusso, and it's signed by Ralph Macchio, which I thought was pretty cool.
That is awesome.
That's as far as Guy gets into the horror genre.
No, we went signed. We went signed. That's all. But listen, I'm gonna say, speaking of horror, this is where look, we got a little into the horror genre.
Oh yeah,
look,
we're on a comic book.
We're on a cover of a Vampirilla comic book. Look at that.
Oh, okay.
We're running away from her, but
that's why Guy's in front. He's running the fastest.
Definitely the fastest.
Well, it does kind of look like him at the bottom.
But no, that is us.
Is that really?
Yeah.
Oh my god, that is sick. I was like, that really does look like you guys.
Show the label, Guy. Hold on. Let me blow Guy up over there. No, pause.
Yeah, no worries.
What do you got there?
Oh
Pressable Defects edition. Yeah.
That is really cool.
See, you know what you need now, right? You need the Jassy Pop, the exclusive.
You need the Jassy Pop.
You don't
have a Jassy Pop.
I figured you probably would have.
But you got to sell them to the masses. The people want them.
No, somebody made this. Gabe Miller, actually, I have like way more customs of his than I thought I did, but he made me.
Froman?
No, Gabe Miller,
the Sausage King of Chicago.
Not him.
If
Jay has
that,
no
I'd be
idea.
very impressed.
I'm going to be very impressed if you know what that's from.
I have no idea.
Jay doesn't know. We know that.
I don't know movies.
Abe Froman, the Sausage King of Chicago.
I know where that's. Don't tell me. I know where that's from. Nobody
you
in
were
the
doing all these TikTok
come
things.
to my brain,
Come
and
on.
then I'll say it out loud. But this is the Meat Pop.
That's
great.
awesome.
There you go.
It's free the 3.
I like that. I got the details. All right.
My little arm tattoo too.
Yep.
Well, it's like
Love
wrapped around.
Oh yeah, they really got the details. All right, let's talk a little bit about. We're gonna come back to you on that movie quote. If you need a hint, Guy will give you a hint. If you need a hint.
No, she read the chat. She read the chat.
Oh, she read the chat. Okay. All right, so let me. I thought I had some slides. No, I do have slides. Hold on.
Those Ferris Bueller pops are pretty good.
All right, here we go. So we're going to talk about some comic book prices. So I'm using the GPA website, which basically it's going to show more or less. High Noon doesn't sponsor us, but Guy's drinking them tonight. GPA basically shows trends, 90-day average, last sale, 2021 average, and it has a nice cool chart. So we're going to show that. We were talking about some books last week that we were surprised are down in price, but we wanted to take a little bit of a closer look. So Jassy, jump in anytime with any questions, because maybe it's just something we didn't think of. So let me share my screen.
As Matt's doing this a second, I just want to ask too: is there any pop that you got that like you stole? You absolutely like stole it, and like that has good value, and you paid like $3 for it or something like that.
Oh,
like,
you mean like I got for a steal?
Yeah, no, not, I mean,
I don't know.
Physically stolen.
Maybe you actually steal stuff. I don't know. Who knows? But no. I mean, you got for a steal. Yeah.
All the pops worth anything are behind the counter at stores, so it's not worth it.
Got it.
I mean, sure, I've gotten plenty of. I once actually had a guy trade me a ghost face, which was at the time probably $220 in value for, I don't remember the character, but I had some signed pop. It wasn't authenticated, and he didn't care. He wanted to trade me his ghost face for that particular pop.
Was it a Dolph Lundgren Punisher pop? And was it Jay?
I'll trade you, pop.
Yeah, you would.
No, I mean, I've gotten very good deals. I mean, hell, when I buy big collections, I get massively good deals when people don't do a good job packing. And everything.
They just throw it all in. They don't even know what they have, right?
Like the guy with the big hole in the box in the last video.
It is where we make a deal where that's assuming all of your collection is an 8 out of 10 or better.
Gotcha.
And if you're not listening to what I say when I'm talking about how to ship things and things arrive
because
of your lack of protection, well then my offer ceased to exist, and now we have to make a new one with all of the damage.
I like it. I like it.
All the time.
Negotiator. All right. All right. So one of the first books we're going to talk about is Young Avengers #1. So everybody in the chat, most of you in the chat, I should say, know what this book's about. Team appearance, Young Avengers. We know all the young Avengers that first appear in this book, and this book went crazy nuclear in 2021. And I think that's going to be the trend. Clearly, is that 2021 just things went crazy in the comic book market. Jassy, in 2021 during COVID, did all the pop values basically just go up? Was it like a huge jump in pop values during COVID as well?
I don't know about a huge jump, but people were definitely buying way more.
Okay.
I don't know if things like skyrocketed in value, but it was much easier to sell.
Yeah.
Then.
Okay. Yeah. So here you could see in 2020, the high sale of this book in a 9.8 was $609. And in 2021, it was $1595. So
wow.
Over 100% jump. But this is the comparison that we wanted to do, right, Jay? Is that we see things are obviously dying off from the peak of 2021, but we wanted to see how they compared to 2020 when prices were a little bit more realistic on some of these books. So as you could see, in 2020, the high for this book was $609, right? And that came around December, right? And then after that, there was a bunch of sales in the 300s and 400s. And then when we got into 2021, let me see, is this going to load? Yeah. Obviously, there was a ton of sales, and I'm just going to scroll. And you can see everything was over $1,000 after March. March is when it really started going crazy. You can see February started creeping into the 5s, into the 6s, into the 7s. And that's when you started getting into these 4-digit sales, 1,200, 1,500, 1,300. And then it started tailing off a little bit. Right now we're getting below 900. You know, towards the end of the year, popped a little bit again. But let's go to 2022 and see some of these last sales. Another thing you're going to notice about 2022 is that there's just less sales overall. So you can see 900, 1,000. And when did we start really? Okay. So March is when we start getting below 800. And there was a $695 sale, $675, $675. So clearly this book has been almost more than cut in half from its peak. However, still better than 2020 prices, right, Jay? I mean, what do you make of that, Jay? What are you thinking with some of these prices? Are we just correcting from 2021? Is this part of the problem, like that people are seeing with the MCU? Does it have to do with something else? Should we still be happy that the price is above what they were in 2020? I mean, what do you think?
Yeah. What I think with that particular, with most books that in 2020, all collectibles went crazy, right? Or most collectibles went crazy.
2021. Yeah.
Yep. Oh, sorry, 2021. That just shows me that, buyers it's almost like the stock market. Buyers got caught with their hand in the cookie jar. They bought at the absolute highest peak for that book. And then what happened there was, I don't know whether they're trying to get their money back, trying to cut their losses before the book drops. But that book, I think we do see Young Avengers. I think it comes back up eventually, but not a book I would invest that much money into. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Is it? Don't worry about the dogs. It's okay. It's fine.
He just came home, so they hear his car and they freak out.
No worries.
Good. All good.
Is it because of the money that was flowing at the time too? Does that have a big effect on it? Like the people had more money to spend, and they weren't going out. They weren't spending it on at the bar. They weren't spending it on at the restaurants. They weren't spending it. You know what I'm saying? So it's people had an overflow of money and money coming in from the government too. In most places, not everywhere, obviously, but.
I think we know what happened in 2021 was a combination of all that. People at home looking around. I mean, look, Jazzy's and even us, we're kind of a product of COVID, right? We built this kind of at the beginning or in the middle of COVID, and I think a lot of people with money got into comics. and they just started buying stuff up. I mean, we saw it ourselves. We saw it firsthand, and that drove these prices really through the roof. So everyone keeps saying the market's declining, and it seems like it is, but maybe it's just kind of correcting itself, and that's what we're still trying to figure out. We're trying to see where the plateau is going to be, but you can clearly see. I mean, I love this website because you get these cool little graphs. You can clearly see that we're still on the downward trend. However, we're still above the high sale of 2020, so you got to be happy with that. That we oversold a lot some of these comics that I'm going to show. But where they're settling is still above where they were prior to this crazy spike.
See, I wouldn't say oversold. I would say overbought.
Overbought, yes, correct. That's probably the best term, yeah. Because the book is worth whatever the last sale is in a lot of times, right?
Yep.
So, and Jassy, that was a comment that I left on one of your videos it was the one with the 100K Willy Wonka, and I was like, it's kind of an oversimplification, but something is worth what somebody's willing to pay for it, right? And I think the whole point you were trying to make is there wasn't any sales data on it, so the guy that spent $100,000, that's what he thought it was worth, and probably what it will be worth if somebody sells another one, or if he goes to sell that, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's not when there is no market, and this is where everybody, oh, you overpaid. How do you know that? Why do you think that? Like, there's just as the people to say that, I mean, it was a good price. Nobody actually can put any 2 cents into what they thought. The reality is that the guy who had it said, okay, my last offer was $65,000, and that's still not good enough. Like, that's not enough for me to want to get rid of it. Right. And Frank's side was, it meant more to him to spend the money rather than the time to try to find another one. Because again, only 4 of these were given the ticket, and the rumor is that 2 of them were thrown away. So only 2 out of these 10, I think, that were made, tickets exist. So it was more important to him to spend the money rather than waste the time to try to find this at a better deal. And he hit 100K. And even Frank, if you watched the whole thing, he was like, I would have actually not even watched the whole thing. That part might have been cut out. But at one point during the interview, he was like, I might have paid 120.
Yeah.
But that was where it was worth it for the dude to sell. That's where we stopped. That's what the agreement was made. So it doesn't make sense for people to say that he overpaid or that you may not understand. Listen.
Yeah.
No words came out, by the way.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't. But that's me. I don't like if Ski Ulrich had a Ghostface Pop that he grew up with from birth and spent his life holding blood, sweat, and tears on it, I might pay $100,000 for it. Otherwise, probably not. But it doesn't mean the same to me. It meant more to him. And for him, time meant more than money. So again, it's hard to argue. I can't say, no, you're wrong for spending that. He sleeps just fine at night, knowing what he paid.
I mean, honestly, everybody in the Funko market should probably be happy with him because it's got to bolster the market. Like I'm sure it didn't happen yet, but I think it's going to lead to. I mean, this is what it does with comics. It just leads to more. It leads to higher dollar sales on other rare, comics, or in this case, pops. So I don't know if that started to happen yet. I mean, this seems like it only happened a month or 2 ago. So, but I have a feeling that it will start to affect the market. Or
there's probably maybe a little bit more of it that will be like, okay, I have this 100 piece, 25 piece, 50 whatever piece, and okay, this sold for this, maybe I'll hold on to it and see what I can get later. So there are a lot of people that are now less inclined
hoarding.
to sell that and kind of see what it'll do later.
Well, to answer
Calvin
Calvin,
Lamb, yes.
yes, he does have a channel.
And Dave,
everything's in the description. As always, the description. We got IG, we got her website, we got our YouTube channel. So all you got to do is go to the description, and you get your Funko Pop Fix in.
I'm gonna throw this up there before we forget. Aegis Comics of Alaska, $1.99 super chat. Big collection is where it's at. Peach Momoko for life. And then they came in threw another one in there. I didn't forget about you, but thank you for throwing another one. $4.99 super chat. During COVID, everyone from Gary Vee to Value Entertainment, Entrepreneur Podcast, YouTube channels were encouraging investments in collectibles. 100%. I think people went bonkers with collectibles.
Yep.
So that's
Gary Vee's a smart guy.
Absolutely. You ain't kidding. All right, let's look at another book. Let's look at another book that we talked about last week. Edge of Spider-Verse #2. First appearance, obviously, of Spider-Gwen. This character just kind of rides the coattails of Miles. Right, Jay? Wouldn't you say, like, as Miles Morales goes, Spider-Gwen goes?
Yeah. I get into it and I'll get into my spiel on these books.
You get into your little spiel? You know, I mean, I forgot to show this last time. You know what? I'll talk about it later. We'll talk about it later. So this one has a little bit, obviously you can just see from the graphs, it's got one huge spike, but it's been a little bit more flat. And I think the Spider-Man, Spider-Verse characters tend to have a little bit more staying power. They're a little bit more blue chip. However, this is starting to see a downward trend as well. So 2020, we saw a high of 1,200. And that was probably towards the middle of the year. Yeah. That was when the Miles Morales thing with the video game in late 2020 dragged this book up. There's no doubt about that. Mm-hmm. Started coming down a little bit, and then 2021 hit. And like most other key comics, this thing went nuclear around March and started getting over a G, easily over a G, 1,500, 1,600, 1,700, 1,700, 1,800. Wow. There's a $4,000 sale somewhere in here. I think actually, but that's a bogus sale. I think that the date is either wrong or somebody was price gouging it just to try to drive the market up a little bit because there's been nothing even close to that. But you can see everything's over 1,000, right? And even at the beginning of this year, you had a $2,000 sale. Now, this is a comic that actually sold for more in 2022. Which is a little rare for most of these comics. Most of the high sales are in 2021. You can see that 2,040, 2,000, a bunch of this 4,000 is fake. This is a bogus sale. Several sales over 2,000. So this one held out a little longer than most comics on this list because I think Miles Spider-Verse stuff, everyone's so hot. Everyone is just holding, waiting for these characters to show up live action. And they're just thinking these are modern Grail books. I hate that phrase, modern Grail, but that's what people use. You can see, look how many sales are way over. 2,100, 2,200. But in the last month, this book has really dropped. $400 in a 1 month span. You went from 2,100 to 1,700 consistently. 4 straight sales, actually more than that. 7 straight sales of 1,700 or less. So, Jay, I know you had some thoughts on this, bro.
Yeah, if you pay $2,200, Miles is one thing, right?
Yeah.
Iconic character. Book is going crazy. The 1 in 25 is going crazy. But to me, man, if you pay $2,200 for this book, a modern book like this, and a 9.8, you're just begging to get reamed. There's so many Silver Age books and classic first appearances from the Silver Age that I'd rather drop $2,200 on. Probably 30 to 40 of them rather than this book right here. How much value is it going to hold? How many are printed? Just something I don't like. I think if you paid $2,200 for this book, can it hit that price again? Yeah. Could it go much more than that? I don't think so. That's just
how about just the trend though? Like, the drop not seeing as much of a drop as the book we looked at last, Young Avengers? Is it because it's Spider-Verse?
I think it's because, like, a lot of people in the chat said in 2021, during COVID, we had a ton of investors that came in that really didn't know much about the hobby, that didn't do homework. FOMO kicked in. They seen the books going up, and listen, people that were fans of Spider-Gwen before had this book, right? But if you had any inkling on collecting, why would you spend $2,200 on this book? You know what I mean? A book that's how many years old?
Yeah, 2014. So, but listen, that's our opinion, right? Like we don't like the modern stuff as much, but people are asking, is it good to buy? It's impossible to tell the future, but clearly this book will see a bump if and when we see a Spider-Gwen live action. I'm pretty sure that will happen at some point. I just don't know when.
But how long did we've seen the comics trend, and how long does that bump last?
That's you got to be ready to pull the trigger if you're looking, for investment purposes, because there can only be one guy that buys at the bottom, and there can only be one guy or girl that sells at the top. So pretend that's never going to be you, right? You have to timing does play, and luck, plays a little bit of part of it. You have to decide, where's the market going to go as a whole? Are we going to continue to go down a little bit? Are we still in correction territory, or is it about to level out? If you want this book, is now the right time to buy it? I would say it's probably not yet, but I think we're getting close to the bottom of where you're going to see this book. That's my opinion, but we don't have a crystal ball. So, but Jay, I know we just talked about 2 modern books, so I'm going to give you one book that's near and dear to your heart. This way, you got something to say about this one. I'll just let you take this.
Here's where the biased opinion comes in.
There you go. So I'll let you take this one away. I think this is it. Is this one it? Hold on. Yeah, this has got to be it. Oh, no, that's it.
Can I just?
Yeah, jump in.
I'm the worst at pronouncing names, so please don't get offended if I pronounce anybody's wrong, which I probably will. This person with the Beliael.
Oh,
they commented prior, and they're like, "She looks so nervous. Is this her first time on camera?" It might as well be, I guess.
I mean, Belial. I mean, I don't know how to say your fucking name, but I mean,
I do have a channel, and people.
Aeolian.
I'm just as surprised. People do.
We got something for Balali or whatever the fuck.
Put him in a fucking bench.
Get him out of here.
Get him the fuck out of here.
We got a couple super chats.
Talk to this guy.
Listen, there's super chats coming through again. Aegis wants. Listen, I don't know if it's Amy doing it.
It's probably Amy. Yeah,
it's probably Amy. After COVID, midget stripper comic book sales channels while twerking for bags and boards on TikTok. Defects were throwing singles at him. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Jassy, I don't know if you know what we do here when people throw up super chats, but Matt's going to make believe he's doing something different and play with his phone. So people throw up super chats, and this is what Matt does. Go ahead.
There we go. I'm just gonna play a funny one.
Terrible.
We're gonna play. Play a little tank.
People are asking for it, so
we'll show the dog. Jazz just show her dog. We'll do tank. God rest.
Okay.
Take the tank, fly it right up to the general's palace, drop it at his feet. I'm like, boom. You looking for this?
Oh God! Fight me. Oh Jesus Christ!
God rest his soul.
I miss Tank.
We miss Tank.
So when I read comments like this, I'm like, Comic Tom must have sent this guy over.
It could be Tom.
If you actually took the time to watch the fucking channel, maybe you learned something. So
there you go.
Or don't. I just got a shirt. I can't wait. I cannot wait to wear it. It says, "I am not for everyone."
I need that shirt.
That's like our
I
motto
am
here.
not for everyone.
Former Trout wants to tell you something.
There will be no more tonight.
More. That's all.
You want to hit? We got to hit him with a different suit. I mean, he gave 25. I mean, we got to.
I
A
mean,
little Larry.
Why don't you smash the like button, Matt?
You know, smash the like button.
Smash the like button and not.
That one's funny. We could do that one.
Eva.
I mean, I feel like we're okay.
Be.
Yeah, I felt like you were not going to be offended by that. Like, we feel like you're cool enough to play some of these.
And there you go. Look at highlight Black Crown.
In this group right here, we all have the same size boobs. Okay, so not offended at all. Don't worry.
Not what I was saying, but yeah, no, I got you.
Okay.
What did that? This is going off the rails. I love it. This usually happens about an hour in, so we're right on schedule. Yeah.
There you go.
I got two more. Yeah. Well, listen. It's
MK.
I'm glad you're here tonight. Then MFK 30. There you go. Jay, Thor 165.
Bro, a book that I've talked about with Guy, with you, with Universe X, with Joey for years. I would say years now, right? Since a book that people should have bought back then, before 2020. This is an iconic book. What's it been doing? I can't see. I don't have my spectacles on.
No spectacles? So, quick rundown. 2020 peaked at 510. The low was 215. 2021, obviously, things went a little crazy. 1900 in this grade. What are we at? A 7.5. I want to see when that 1900 is because go ahead. The announcement for the actor came in October. So look, that's where all these high sales were. Right around the time of what's his name? Will Coulter? Guy?
Whatever.
Yeah, the kid from
Meet the Millers.
Were the Millers? Meet the Millers?
Yeah.
You got bit on the balls by a tarantula?
Here's a question, Jay. You think this kid's not going to do a good job?
I mean, do I think he's
I
going to
feel
do a good
I feel
job?
your voice already. I feel your voice like stabbing me in the side of the neck.
He
already.
was good in Maze Runner.
Yeah. So
he was really good in Maze Runner.
You think this kid's not going to do a good job? And he is like, it looks to me like he's 100% invested.
Will Poulter. Jay's got no words.
No, I'm just, you know what? I don't want to judge I want to see what he looks like, right? Okay. Because Warlock's a very monotone character. Would I have casted that kid from Meet the Millers? I haven't seen Maze Runner, so I'm going to keep referring.
He was a villain. He was a villain in Maze Runner. He played a good part.
So I wouldn't have casted. No, I wouldn't have casted him as Adam Warlock. I think he's a little too young. One, but I don't know which direction they're going in. They're not saying him. They're saying Adam Warlock. You know how I feel when MCU switches stuff up, but I think this book has not hit its peak yet. I think once we see him, I think Guardians is going to be a good movie. It's going to be the end of the James Gunn run, and I think it's going to create the new team like we talked about in the past. Those are also great books to grab, like we talked about, like UniX talked about. But I don't know, man. I just don't like the casting. But I think this book has not seen its day yet.
Well, this is what I'm saying, right? We talked last week about a lot of the Silver Age blue chippers were kind of not immune, but like really not going to drop as hard as some of the other books. Here's a Silver Age key. Prior to any MCU talk, right? Warlock is a really important character, a really beloved character in comics. This book has dropped from 1900, which was kind of at the tail end of the 2021 craze. It was right around the announcement of the casting. The last sale was $735, Jay. That is an enormous drop for a Silver Age key. That is an enormous drop. I did not expect this data when I looked it up today. That makes me a little nervous. I gotta be completely honest with you.
Look, you could almost buy 3 of those rather than one Edge of Spider-Verse number 3.
Well, you know what I mean?
But what information have you got on this yet? Really, this went so cold. This is a version of Cold Keys right here. This went cold no one has even talked about this character for a little while now. So this is bound to happen. And then once you're going to get a glimpse of something or a hint at something, this is going to bounce back like crazy.
But is it?
Yeah.
That's the question, though.
Yeah.
And I want to see, because the next book may say otherwise, but I don't know. That's what we're trying to figure out. But this book is getting close to territory of, if you want to buy this book, like, this has got to be close to the bottom, Jay.
Yeah, I agree.
What do you think?
I mean, what grade was it? At 735?
This is 7.5. This is 7.5. So you're talking $100 a point. $100 a point is not bad for this book.
No.
You know, considering in 2019, this is when people really started scooping, like 605s. Now you're at 735 after a casting. That's a pretty good price.
When did the casting
Can I ask a
happen?
question?
October 2019. October 2021. What's up, Jassy?
Sorry, I just felt like I needed to raise my hand.
Jump in.
Just a simple question, because I'm always really curious. It's vastly different with grading pops, but a 7.6 graded comic, let's say
7.5.
7.5. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, you're all right. You're good.
Let's say, so what is that pop? God, what is that comic worth? Like a 9.5 or 10
So
versus
10's
what it's worth
so
as a 7.5.
So the difference is, so like with the pops, it would be because you're buying a comic book from like the 60s or the 70s, so the condition isn't going to be as good. But that comic in a 9.8 is probably I don't even know how many would be on the.
I'm going to show you right now. Yeah.
Yeah, the price jump is
15,000.
Yeah.
9.8 is like your 10. That's like your.
There are
So
10s,
a
but they're
mint-
very
Yeah,
rare.
Very rare.
So a mint version of this comic is worth roughly around 15 grand.
yes.
That was in 2019, so I would assume if the one were to sell again, it would probably be closer to 18 or 20. But that disparity is always going to be. I guess you don't have that as much in pops because they're still fairly new. But this is a book from 1969, so the difference between a 9.8, they're so rare for this book. So the disparity between a 7.5 and a 9.8 is going to be much bigger than a book that was from 2000 or 1990 because the grades, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that it depends on the book, right? How big that disparity is. Obviously, the newer the book, the lower the disparity as far as between those grades.
Yeah, pops are they're what, 10, I think at the most years old, 10, 11, if anything. So, it's a big difference. If we had pops going back to the 60s.
Right. Yep.
Oh,
Well,
I can't even imagine.
In 30 years from now, in 30 years from now, when you're still making YouTube videos, you'll be talking about the pops from,
God.
No? Come on.
Hopefully we'll see. Listen, 5 years ago, if you told me that this was what I was doing right now, no.
Yeah, us too.
Yeah, seriously, you ain't fucking kidding. All right, guys, so we're going to test your theory. A character that showed up in a movie that was pretty well liked. Wouldn't you say that Shang-Chi was universally, for the most part? I know we weren't as high on it as most.
Now you're going to you're going to compare characters when I was specifically talking about Warlock. Like this.
I understand, but we have to go with what we've seen, right? I'm trying to build a case. I'm not saying one way or the other, but we got to look at the data, right?
Okay. Yeah.
You got to look at the data. Come on now. So let's see what had the most sales. 8.5 looked like it had a lot of sales. 7.5. Let's do 7.5. So a lot of red. I see a lot of red arrows already. So here's where the book peaked, right? The book peaked. This was probably right around the trailer. I don't know when the trailer was. Probably right in this area. But it's kind of it's tough because that was right around the peak of the market as well. March, April, May of 2021, right? So this is a tough one. But it's just gone straight down from there. Here's the movie, September. It was already on a downward trend. And it's just gone down from there. $300 sale. 400s, 500s. Let's see what it's done this year. It popped back up a little bit, but it's settling in right around 500 or 600. Is it just a case, and I'll let you guys answer this, Guy, if you want to talk first. Is this a case that it's not as... I mean, Shang-Chi's is a well-known character, but he's not Adam Warlock. So is this just a case of the character isn't as special? Or is it because, hey, the character showed up, and now my attention's been diverted to one of the other 15 fucking projects that Marvel's going on right now?
I think that's the case. I think that it came out, the movie was okay. It wasn't great. And then they moved on to other things rather quickly, and people don't have time to react to something like that, and they're not spending it. It's already out of their mind. Once you get you tell me now let's talk for real a second. You tell me if you didn't get a hint of Iron Fist in something like that movie, that the Iron Fist book wouldn't have went fucking crazy.
Right. I just don't know how long that lasts anymore, Jay. How long do those peaks last?
I think it lasts till the movie comes out, and then everybody's on to the next character, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think these windows are getting a lot tighter.
Yeah.
A lot tighter. Now,
100%.
if you want this book, I think it's a good place to buy this book right now. I think this is definitely a cold key. Do I think this book jumps again? I think when we see this character become a little bit more part of whatever's going on in the future, which I think he will be, maybe he does a team up, maybe it's an Iron Fist. I think that would send this book up. But I don't think it's going back to 1,200, 1,300.
There's your perfect example. Hold on.
What?
Jessica Alvarez.
There you go. It's been going. I think she wants to see it. I could bring that one up if you guys want to talk about that.
I think it's sarcasm.
Well, it's done the same thing. It's done the exact same thing.
Correct.
Right.
I know a guy that sold that book at its peak.
At its peak, right? One of those guys. But you know what? I think that is a more loved character, but the show wasn't liked as much as Shang-Chi, right? Higher expectations. So I don't know. That was a little bit just going. I don't know if we know the exact direction. If we're at the bottom, if we're just going to flatline from here. If we got a little bit down to go. So we're trying to build this. We're trying to build a little bit of a case here over the next few weeks to try to see where this thing are going. And I think some books are a good buy right now, and I think some books still have a little bit ways to go down. So.
Jazzy, you say you're not really into the MCU stuff and stuff like that. Obviously, being into Funko and everything like that. But do you watch any of these shows or any of these movies? I know you do a lot of movie quotes in your videos, so that's why I have to ask.
No, actually, I just branched out a few months ago. I watched the first 3 Star Wars movies. And listen, I've seen.
Well, you do a lot of pop, Star Wars pops. So,
listen, the pop genre, I sell any and all pops. I don't I'm not in any one genre of that. As far as what I collect, it's all horror. But I've seen like Spider-Man. I've seen a bunch of like random Marvel movies. But if you were to ask me, or asked me to list the sequence and all of that, I would have not a clue in the world. I wouldn't even know where to start.
Okay.
I don't know who was first.
What about Stranger Things? Do you do Stranger Things?
I watched probably the first 5 episodes of the first season. I didn't really get into it all that much. I'm not saying that it's bad. It just, I don't know what I was doing at the time of watching. It just didn't really grab my attention so much.
Okay. Well,
what about
season
Scream
3 and
on
4
MTV?
much better, and 4 is like very horror-esque. So just throwing it out there.
What was that?
Scream on MTV?
No.
No? Thought I had
She gave you
you
that. No. She's like, fuck you, bro.
I grabbed a couple of these, by the way, so I'm gonna jump off of Jay's thing. That was terrible. Scream on MTV. Anyway, look.
Here you go.
One of my
Starscream.
favorites. I had to grab Starscream. It was hard for me to find, and this is actually coming in from the movie that just released this past weekend. I thought this is one of my fun ones that I got.
There you go.
From Jurassic Park.
Oh, you know what?
Is Jurassic Park considered a horror movie?
I don't think so.
I don't think
No,
so.
right?
Because Guy watches it. That's how we judge horror movie. If Guy will
Correct.
watch it, it's
If I
not
watch
horror.
it, it's not a horror movie.
That's
So-
how we do it.
You want to see something that I found at a garage sale? And let's put it this way. I didn't find it. My two kids found it. My two boys found it. And I had to buy it, obviously. But check this thing out.
Oh man.
Look at this thing.
That's the 18-inch.
Yeah.
You don't hear that a lot.
No.
I fucking knew Jim.
I don't know who would, but yeah. This.
I have that
couldn't believe-
over in actually I have that.
Yeah, you have the same one?
Yeah. This
All right.
where is the if you
I
could
see it.
see it,
Oh, there it is. Yeah.
it's in the
CBSI.
box. This one is the $200 one. I don't know
Yeah.
off the top of my head. I don't have these very often, so I don't know what the different values are.
$225. I looked it up.
Yeah, there you go. I have the same one in box right here.
I found it for
Yeah.
15 bucks.
I wish.
I mean,
$15 bucks.
Amazing Murphinator, friend of the channel, points.
Yeah.
He has a really good point here. You do definitely resemble Megan Fox. There's no doubt.
Do you
about
know
it.
that?
I get more of a Katy Perry vibe, but
Thank you. That is maybe the most frequent
Yeah.
thing that has ever been said.
And I think it's just it's the way you talk too,
Katy
honestly.
Perry. I don't. I mean, thank you. These women are beautiful, but I don't see it. Katy Perry's got like big blue eyes. She's like 5'11", but I guess the dark hair, white skin.
Just take the compliment, right? It's like fuck it, right? Sure.
Dan, by the way, in the chat, that's my partner. The
That's your
ass.
partner?
Yeah.
Oh, he's laughing at you. He's laughing at you. Dickhead. Should we put Dan in the bathroom?
Sure. Well, I don't know what that means, but yeah.
What do you mean? We just played it.
Mm.
Put him in a fucking bedroom.
Isn't that the Bronx Tale?
Very good.
I love
She's
that
good.
movie.
She's good, folks.
Oh yeah, I'm a big fan.
What else? What else can we? I had something else to ask you. Box. I see this on your channel, but I've never watched one, so I wanted to ask you. Box battles. What is it?
What do you mean?
Yeah, man,
I don't
what
know.
do you
I
mean?
saw something. It was like a box battle. It was like in one of your descriptions, and I didn't see what it was, so I just wanted to ask you about it.
Like my lives that I used to do?
I can't remember
What does
where
it
it was.
entail?
Okay, so I mean, I used to do like mystery box battles. So basically,
Okay.
myself and I would have on different guests, and we would order the same mystery box, or we order mystery box from the same company, and basically we would battle value. So the person that got the highest value in the box would be safe, they would win, and then the person that got the lowest value had to dump a bucket of ice water over their head.
You made me feel stupid for a second. I said box battle. You're like, the fuck you talking about? I was like, Jesus Christ. Like,
I'm like, here we go. The channel's getting taken down.
yeah.
I'm
start
sorry.
talking about
No, I guess that's probably not even what you would call them, I guess, if you guys were to do like box battles with comics, like slab battles. I don't.
Oh,
No, I
Yeah,
like
we don't
that.
do
A
that.
mystery box battle. I
I do like that though. It's a good. I don't think it would work for comics because people would just get too angry. Mystery boxes in comics is like gets a bit really bad rap and rightfully so. It's like a taboo thing. You can't talk about them. It's like Fight Club. You don't talk about them. You know.
I've bought in nerdy girls.
Oh, please.
Sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit.
She is
Sorry.
so sweet. Met Danielle in person. She's a truly a good person. I don't know. Again, I'm not. You guys have much more right to an opinion on comic mystery boxes. I have no idea what makes them good or bad. I don't know if it's fair to price something out with value or if that's just not the way things go. I don't know. I've gotten a few from her. They weren't bad. But I don't know enough, I guess, to say.
You ever get an Adelaide Stevenson?
Right. What?
You ever get an Adelaide Stevenson? No. No.
That's an inside joke.
Say it.
Yeah, I know. Adelaide Stevenson. Terrible. See? It's there. Look. Yeah.
So, I mean, you guys.
What about Whatnot? Do you do Whatnot sales?
Occasionally.
Okay. And positive, negative?
Whatnot is a very convenient way to sell bulk product.
You could just tell us what you
can say it. It's fine. Yeah. That's the way to dump stuff.
Honestly, I honestly believe that. It is that is the nicest thing I have ever been able to say about that app.
Okay.
It's convenient. It is. It is. You can't take that away. If you get accepted to do a live stream, it is very easy to sell a couple hundred items in a few hours. Like, it's one of the better bulk ways that I've encountered selling. But that's it. That's all I have to say.
Moving on.
Are you on there? Do you have a channel on there?
Yeah, I do. I am going this Friday. I'm going live on Whatnot with PKP. We're doing a stream at the Dallas Fan Expo.
Oh, there you go.
Cool.
So if you're in the Dallas area and you're going to be at the Dallas Fan Expo, go say hi to Jazzy. Tell the Defects or you're on Whatnot. There you go.
You just hop on and say hello.
There you go.
You could do that as well. You got to hit the little hearts. Nobody knows what the hearts do on Whatnot, but you got to hit them. Apparently, it's like a new thing.
Where the hearts are.
It's a new thing. It's like over here on the screen.
I don't see them.
Yeah, I was there in the very beginning of Whatnot, back when like you only had one person per stream per like hour, where there was no one else going when you were going.
Sure.
And there's been a lot of changes since then.
The problem is there's more sellers than buyers right now.
It
is completely oversaturated. Correct.
It'll flesh itself out. It has to, right? It's like everything else. It's got to adjust. They're putting a lot of money in. They're spending a lot of money to build that product.
They're also making a lot of money.
They definitely are. Hey, you got to make it to spend it, right?
Sports card, Pokemon, those are their heavy hitters. They make a lot of money. Listen, it's. I have many things that I would say, but again, the nicest way I could say it is it's very convenient. Try not to flush myself down the toilet here.
As the Italians say, business is a business. That's all.
What do you have coming up besides the Dallas Fan Expo? What do you have coming up on the channel? Any sales on the website? What do you got coming up?
Well, I mean, currently I have a damaged run still on my website. We have, less than half of the boxes left. But I do mystery boxes every Friday at 6 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Eastern. They all differ. Damaged, not damaged. Majority of the time, they're not damaged. That's a very, few and far in between thing that I do. But, I do semi-high rollers, lower end, pretty much all around value guaranteed about that. I do claim sales a few times a week with Pops I have two separate Instagrams. So I have one that's more of me, my personal collection. And then I have one that's really just completely Pop related. So H1K Collectibles. So mine is Jassy H1K. That's my YouTube, my Whatnot. And then H1K Collectibles is websites, Facebook, and the selling Instagram. But As of right now, I mean, as far as the channel goes, I'm gonna attempt a few movie reviews and vlog-like
nice
style videos. So I figured I'd try to do something other than just unboxing mystery boxes and Funko Pops every day of my damn life.
Are they going to be horror movies?
Yeah, they will be. You won't want to watch.
There you go. We'll send Guy over. I think you got to have just a horror movie review with Guy on your channel, and you just got to make him sit there and watch it with you.
They're not as bad. I get it. It's not for everybody. I really like that being scared feeling. You know when you go on like a roller coaster, not any roller coaster, but the ones that like bring you all the way up and then drop you and your stomach feels like it's going to fall out of your mouth.
Yeah, I have a bad heart.
That is the feeling I like watching horror movies.
Yeah,
I don't like that feeling going on those rides, but I like that given to me by like a horror movie.
I'm afraid of heights.
I think, listen, if you really want to be scared, walk outside of BronxCon.
Yeah.
I've been all over New York. I don't know that there's any great way to walk out of.
Yeah, that's a good point. What about, I know, like, what's your plan with the comic books? Like, getting into them a little bit more? What's you start collecting them? Or are we just doing the art? Which is I don't want to make that sound negative, because that's totally a good way to collect. I mean, because it is crazy art, right? So.
Listen, if I'm being completely honest, I don't have the mental capacity to sit there and read comic books anymore. I used to read and like get into comics back in like middle school. It's just not what stimulates my brain nowadays. But I really do love the covers. And I'm a big advocate is there's no specific reason why you need to collect or you need to
100%.
do any certain things. So for me, like I have the Ice Cream Man, Something is Killing the Children. Actually, all of these, not like whatever regular comics, raw comics, that was their called, raw comics.
Raw.
All of those are all Something is Killing the Children. I'm really digging those covers. And then all of those, I have like the Roger Rabbit, the Venom. I can't read the other names. The bottom row is more of, I have a giant stack of comics over on the other side of the room. Probably going to try a comic mystery box, your faves.
There you go.
But I have some of the slabs that are going to end up being like the top boxes kinds of things. But
okay.
I did a comic book mystery box once before, and I had 2 Stan Lee signed comics as the top hits. But
you won, or you made the mystery box?
No, I made the mystery box.
Oh, nice. That's a good hit.
Oh, I got in on that one. That's nice.
I sold them on Whatnot. They sold out during my live, so I was pretty happy with it. I got some good feedback. I mean, I didn't have anybody that hated them. Again, I think I did like 10 boxes though, so.
I think people just want transparency. It's like, if you say that it's worth this, it better be worth this, right? And if I know that I'm just buying almost like a lottery ticket to try to get the top hit, then that's what I want to know. A lot of the times with comic books, you don't get all that information. They say, oh, you get $300 worth of value. And then they just put stickers on the comic books that say this book is worth 50 when everyone and their mother knows it's 10. So there goes it's not 300. And then that's why they get a bad rap, is because people overvalue their comics. Not even close. So I think people just want transparency and honesty. And not every box is going to be a hit, but as long as you're transparent, that's all you could ask for. So
I agree.
I will actually, if you met me in person, you would know that I brush my hair probably like 30 times a day. So that is something you will often see, sir.
Why was that in the chat?
Yeah. Oh, damn. Fix your hair again. I've probably, often.
Come on, Greg. I think he was giving you a compliment.
Yeah,
I think
so too.
I know, Greg. I think he was giving you a compliment.
I didn't take it as an insult.
Yeah.
Realistically, I always either brushing or doing something. I don't.
Yeah. All right. We're gonna do some new comic book day stuff. So I don't know if you want to hang or you want to jump off, and it might be kind of boring for you. But
I would never call anything that you guys had to say boring. However, I do have a few more boxes. If you can actually see right next to me.
I've seen the IGs. I know
Oh
there's
my God.
a crazy amount of boxes. Yeah.
I got a $30,000 collection in, and I am really behind.
Big boy
in
status.
Funko.
I like it.
And the guy packed them like shit, by the way.
Listen, this particular collection, I genuinely feel a little bit worse that everything was so roughed up, because I know that everyone's definition of, oh, I packed really well is very different. But after talking with this guy, I know that he thought he packed really well.
Yeah,
but
packed it tight, but
I mean, listen, it's a $30,000 value collection. Did I pay $30,000? Of course not.
no.
I would not make any money if I did that. So, but yes, I do have to get back to work for a little bit before I call it a night. But I appreciate you guys having me on. This was so much fun.
Yeah, this was good. I appreciate you jumping on with us. Everyone's saying thanks for classing up the joint tonight. You know, they're saying that we got no class over here. So, Jay, Guy, anything to say before Jassy runs out?
Thanks for coming on, sharing your insight. Hopefully you picked up some subs. Guys, go check her out. She puts on a good
Appreciate
show.
it.
Go buy some pops.
Guy Forge.
I got a lot.
We thank you. I appreciate you. You gave me a little bit of info towards maybe collecting. Maybe I'll slide in the DMs and see if you got something I'm looking for. Who knows? And then we'll go from there.
Absolutely. Well,
All
thank
right,
you guys
Jassy.
so much.
Thank you.
You guys
Thank
are
you.
awesome. I appreciate the knowledge in the comics as well. I could never not learn enough. So thank you
There you
guys.
go.
I hope everybody in the chat, thanks for coming to hang out. Appreciate all of the support.
Yeah, and anybody that jumped on from
Go follow, guys.
anybody that jumped on from Jassy, thanks for coming over and hanging out with us. And stay in touch. You know, I'd like to, maybe we'll do something again, and good luck in the future.
Thank you. You too, guys. Have a good
All right,
night.
Jassy. We'll see you. All right.
That's fun.
That was good. That was good info. Take care. Brush your hair. See, Dan knows.
Take care.
Dan
brush your hair.
knows.
Very good job, Dan.
Dan's in the house. That's Jazzy's partner. Appreciate you hanging with us too. Yeah, Black Crown, right? We saw this today in the picture. Guy picked the correct picture. She's a Kujin. We know this. What is Justin Shannon saying?
Can we go back?
Guy.
Who dropped that $25 super chat?
Omar says Guy equals class. J equals no class.
No class
Matt
at all.
equals eh. Dan says he's from Brooklyn, so he knows the deal.
Hold on. Let's listen.
I
Dave
love
Cerrone,
this.
don't tell Eva, okay?
Did you see
Don't
Matt's
tell
face?
Eva.
Does Eva know he's cheating on her?
She had me tripping over my words a little bit. I won't
Yes,
lie.
she did. I told you Katy Perry, though, right? What did I say?
She tripped. Yeah. I mean, she knows what she's talking about, though. So
Yeah,
there wasn't,
100%.
I definitely
talking
enjoy
about?
it. Which one are you looking for, Jay?
Hey, what's wrong?
I was looking for the super chat. I mean, someone's nice enough to super chat $25, and
What did I
don't
say?
We
even-
showed it.
It was
And we
25 Canadian, and you played some
showed it.
jackass shit.
And we don't. He says more, and we don't play Eva. I mean, what happened to us?
We have to be courteous with our guests. All
Right.
right.
Just ask her.
Since when did that happen?
Trying to class up the joint over here, Jay.
Someone's got to go downstairs and grab Matt's Paulines and see if they're still there.
Can
Yeah,
we talk about Miss Marvel? Can we
You wanna
talk
get
about?
into-
There's
what-
a couple of
I got-
things.
I got three pieces of news. You want to hit that real quick?
All right, hold on. Before we talk about,
go.
all right, yeah, roll the news footage. Roll the news.
All right, let's do a little news real quick. I know we're running late, but we had to talk to Jassy. That was good. I like.
It was former Trout. It was former Trout. Sorry,
It was
dude, I
former
trying to
Trout.
find-
I know it was. I just didn't want to tell you. So you didn't yell at All right. What do you think the odds of her ever coming back on the show are, by the way?
Like never.
Why you say that?
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
He said like never. No, I think the chat was good. It was like the one guy in there.
What she's gonna do? She's gonna come in next time and she's gonna start the show and she's gonna go, "What's up, Defects?"
That would. There you go.
See?
Then she's a defect for life.
Yep.
All right. So this happened 5 days ago. Thunderbolts official. I thought this was dead. I was kind of bummed because this kind of just died, this rumor, and then they just kind of literally slapped us with it. Like, yeah, this is confirmed. It has a director. I mean, clearly anything could happen, but they're saying this is going to start filming in 2023. You know the books. We're not going to show them, but any insight here, Jay? Anything you gotta?
Let's
What do you
go. I'm gonna do my Zemo fist pump. I don't know why. I don't know what the fuck this crew is right.
Why don't we have that? Yeah, well, that's when Hawkeye was was running the show for the Thunderbolts.
Get it out of here.
We need that. We need that as a super chat. Little
Zemo. They gotta
Zemo
make
fist
Zemo
pump.
lead. Come on, get your Zemo books in, boys. Those are probably cold keys right now. Get that first.
I think we need a
appearance of
cold
Baron
keys.
Zemo.
I think we need a cold keys. Yo, defense. What up, KV? What up? UniX?
UniX in the
All right,
house.
that was a quick one. Nothing. I think most people know this already, but Thunderbolts. I think it is to note that it is going to be a movie, and that'll be the first. It's not a villain movie, but it's an anti-hero movie. So that's going to be. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's like the first MCU, Kevin Feige's MCU anti-hero solo project, right?
Yeah, I guess. Yep, I'm with that.
So that's a big step. I like that. That's probably the best reason why I like this. I think don't get me wrong, I like the Thunderbolts, but I like that they're taking this step. So, all right, this is a big one. Disney promises new Marvel Star Wars announcements for D23. On the Expo's website, Disney teased Saturday, September 10th, filmmakers, celebrity talent, and surprise guests will join representatives from Marvel Studios and Lucasfilms, among others, on stage to showcase theatrical and Disney Plus titles. The announcement went on to read, attendees will see exclusive footage and be among the first to learn what else is in the works. So sounds like big announcements for September coming from Disney. We're going to get trailers, announcements of new projects. That's when they're dropping the next big info dump on us. And the rumor coming off the tail of this, Jay, is that, right, Marvel's not going to be at San Diego Comic-Con.
They gave San Diego the fuck you. We're doing our own shit.
So I think that's big news. Now, that's still a rumor, but I could see that being... I'm like 90% sure that that's going to happen, that Disney's like, you know what, we're not spending $100,000 to go to San Diego Comic-Con and drop no info, because in two months after that, we're dropping all the info we need to drop. You know what I mean? Thor is in July. San Diego Comic-Con is in July. They're not going to try to step on the movie's toes by dropping all the information there. So I could see them not being there. I'm pretty certain that that's going to be the case, but I'm excited for September.
Oh, I seen you, X. I threw up the X as soon as I
Yeah,
seen
what up,
you.
X? We seen you. This came out today. Spider-Verse animated, right? We know who the villain now is. It's going to be Spot. Apparently a villain that has multiverse holes all over his or her body.
Nice. So you got more than one option.
Yep.
Wow.
You send your dick into all different realms.
Your dick can go into all different dimensions.
Yeah, it's a virtual.
I don't mean dimensions.
Yeah, hold on a second. She's gone 5 minutes, and now we're putting our dick in different holes.
It's a virtual glory hole of dimensional goodness.
Wait a minute. Jay was asking about, you don't hear that often with 18-incher. I was like, when is Jay gonna take the governor off during this segment?
You know when I was gonna take it off, Matt? I'm gonna tell you when I was taking it off. When you were like, I found your channel and I found you to be very funny. I said, this fucking guy. This guy over here.
Listen, I was trying to be I was being nice. I like Jassy. She's a friend
100%.
of the channel,
but
you know what I mean?
You found that channel and said, yo, you got to check this chick out. She's coming
I gotta
on
check.
the show.
You gotta check this smoke show out. 100%. I mean, it's a compliment. But you know what?
Pretty sure I sent you the channel like over like a year ago.
It was really good content. I
genuinely
enjoyed the content.
Without a doubt,
But
knowledgeable.
Is that why I clicked on her channel? Yes. Yeah.
That was my point.
Yes, you know me. I mean, I didn't think that I had, that I had to say that out loud. I mean, I didn't want to make her uncomfortable. You know what I mean?
I mean,
Jassy, if you're watching this, I mean, I mean it as a compliment. Spot. First appearance, Spectacular Spider-Man number 98 from 1985. Please don't run out and buy this. It's already fucking $50, $60, but you will probably find it for $5 in a back bin somewhere.
100%.
So
Stay
go
off
digging
eBay.
this weekend. It's going to be there. What was that, guy?
Stay off eBay.
Should we get shirts that stay off eBay?
Yeah.
No FOMO?
Yep.
No FOMO. I was going to say something, but
I ain't wearing that shirt. I ain't wearing that. I'll tell you right now. Not me. Nope. No sirree, Bob.
All right. Last one is not a huge announcement, but Michael Coulter talking about coming back as Luke Cage. Here's what he says. In an interview on the Rich Eisen show, Coulter asked about the potential for a reboot of some kind. Here's what the actor had to say. There is a possibility, I guess. I just don't know how likely it is, and I don't have anything tangible to offer. People always ask me, is it possible? And I'm like, anything's possible. They live on rumors, and I go, I mean, how much is much? I mean, you know as much as I do. People read those articles and the exact same amount of information that I have. So, it's obviously they're never going to be like, yeah, it's coming. But I feel like this is, I don't want to say it's a slam dunk, but I think they'd be really dropping the ball if they didn't bring him back as Luke Cage. I don't know.
I mean, how could they not bring him back as Luke Cage? Who else they get?
That's what I'm saying.
For Luke Cage, you know what I mean?
But what's interesting is we've gotten like a little bit of breadcrumbs recently about him. A little bit, some posting. I wouldn't be surprised if, what is it, June? D23. He's Luke Cage. Mark it down, ladies and gentlemen. Mark it down. All right, Jay. Miss Marvel.
No. One more piece of news that we didn't make a slide for.
Oh, go ahead. Drop
Ooh,
it for us.
Lady Gaga supposedly playing Harley Quinn in Joker 2, the supposed musical. What the fuck? What is that? I mean,
Yeah.
I like Lady Gaga, right? I like her acting. I don't per se like her music. But a musical, a Joker 2, how do you go from Joker 1 to Joker 2 the musical? I don't believe I don't buy that.
Dare I say it? Joker face, Joker face.
Wow. How long did that take?
Just came out of my head right now.
Yep. That is terrible.
Yep.
Apparently, Amazing Morphinator, Scooper,
Booker
Inside
T.
Scooper, saying Booker T as Luke Cage in the MCU. And Wes, I seen your comment, Wes. Okay? Don't think I didn't see it. All right? I'm not highlighting it, but I see what I don't think I didn't see it. Don't worry.
I'll
I see you, bro.
highlight it.
I remember everything.
What do you say now?
Don't worry about it. Don't worry what he said.
Gotta scroll up now.
We need to cash it or trash it soon, people are saying.
Yeah,
Next week, guys, doing cash it or trash it.
Next week.
Are we doing new you want to talk about Miss Marvel quick and then we'll do new comic book day?
Yeah.
Or you want to do new comic book day and then talk about Miss Marvel?
No, let's talk about Miss Marvel.
All right. Everyone's ready for Jay to kill Miss Marvel. Jay, the floor is yours.
I like
He's not gonna kill it. I guarantee it.
He just fucking said it.
I'll
Yeah,
tell you
I
why I
guarantee
like it. I thought it was fun. I thought that's the type of show that should be on Disney. It had a Comic-Con. It tied in the Avengers there. They gave their little tribute to Captain America and Tony Stark. And we talked about it being pitched for kids. I enjoyed it. I thought it was funny. I didn't like her powers per se, how they came about, but that's what should be on Disney Plus, not Moon Knight, right?
I'll tell you 100%. I watched it with my boys, and I loved it too.
I liked it. I liked it, dude.
I enjoyed
it fit.
the cinematography. I enjoyed the graffiti on the walls as they were walking by. I thought it was very well put together. I believe the acting was spot on, and from everybody, from the parents to her to the school teacher, the principal, whoever he was. Like, I thought it was good from beginning to end. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, and listen, that's the type of show that could be on Disney Plus, right? Because you're not going to get that violent character. You're not going to get violent. You know what I mean? Moon Knight has no business being on there. No business at all. That's how I feel about it. Just like I think She-Hulk is just like I think She-Hulk is going to be good.
I'm not going to go as far as to say I loved it, but I think it was. Let's put it this way. I'm going to bounce off of what Guy said. It was definitely well put together. That was the first thing I said to the guys. I said it was well done. It was well executed. They put a lot of effort into it. They're definitely, we talked about where is Disney putting their money? And it seems like they took it away from some projects and they push it over to some other. And Benny Beans in the chat today, man from Beantown, was saying, he doesn't like what Marvel's been doing with some of the CGI. They haven't been doing as good CGI, and maybe he's got a point. But they put some effort into this show. It was made for Disney Plus, 100%. It fits really well there, and I think they need to realize what's going to work well on there. And it's not just because it's more geared towards younger people, but I think the premise, the style, the pacing of the show is more for an episodic week to week. Now, this is a point I want to make. Week to week show. Okay. I don't know who said this. But I did like it, right? I did enjoy it. I'm going to watch it every week. I'm not going to watch it as soon as it comes out, but I will watch it every week by Friday. You know what I mean? It was one episode. We know that almost every show has started off strong. So I'm going to hold out judgment. Okay.
I was gonna say I enjoyed the first 2 episodes of Moon Knight too.
Right. So let's hold off. Let's hold off. However, I said specifically it was good for a week to week episodic release. Do you think that some of the shows that maybe we haven't liked as much could have benefited from dropping all at once, as opposed to waiting a full week to watch what's about to happen next, or where are they going with the storyline, especially something like Moon Knight? Do you think that it could have changed your perception even a little bit? I'm not going to say like major, but I heard somebody ask that the other day, and I thought about it, and I think he was on to something. I can't remember who it was. And I think that some of the shows would have benefited from being released all at once as opposed to week. What do you guys think?
I don't think it matters, man. If it's good, it's good.
Okay. Guy?
Can we talk about how good The Boys has been? Because that is.
Yeah. Well, I just want to hear Guy if he thinks that could have played a difference in anything in any way, shape, or form.
I think so. I think 100%. I think if they brought stuff out all at once, some of the shows you have a different feeling about. I'll tell you this much: Falcon and Winter Soldier, I didn't like. But if they brought it out all at once, I may have thought different. I may have watched the whole thing from beginning to end and thought different about it. I wasn't into it. Do I like the characters? Yes. Do I like Zemo? Yes. Do I like Winter Soldier? Yes. Like, I'm sitting there like, I like these guys, and I just wasn't into it.
Yeah. I think Moon Knight could have benefited from all at once. I think Falcon and Winter Soldier could have benefited from all at once, and even maybe Loki to an extent, just because those middle episodes were kind of weird, and it kind of took it down a little bit. And if you just were able to go to that next good episode, it probably wouldn't have stuck out in my mind as much. But I don't think they'll change it. I think Hawkeye and Miss Marvel are good week for week. And WandaVision to an extent. I think WandaVision did okay week to week. But could they change that in the future? I mean, I don't. Why not? I mean, will they? Probably not. I don't want to rule it out, but just a thought. I mean, I'm curious to see what the chat has to say about that. All right, Jay, the boys clearly kicking ass right now.
I seen BK put in the chat, Peacekeeper than the boys. Just flip that for me. I think that's 1 and 2, if not equally good. Dude, the show is great. I mean, we talked about it last week. I can't, like, this is a show I can't wait for. I can't wait for Friday. Like, it's so good, dude. Every episode, that's a show. If it came out all at once, I'd breeze through in 2 days, 100%, because you have to watch the next episode. I don't feel like that. Like, I didn't feel like that with Moon Knight. I didn't feel like that with Loki. I didn't feel like that. WandaVision, yes, because there was a lot of speculation behind that show.
Yeah.
That was the first show that came out in a long time. So that was
Jay, the only show I ever felt that way, and I'm sure you remember me saying it, and I'll say it again. The only show that I really ever felt that way was Daredevil.
oh yeah.
I hear you.
Yep.
I could not put the phone down. I was in bed until 3 a.m. watching this thing on my pillow, like with headphones on, like you know what I'm saying? Like I couldn't put it down. I had to watch the next episode. Like
Stranger Things. I mean, it's not I mean, I guess it's. I think there is a Stranger Things comic, but it's not comic book content, right? It's original content. For me, right now, it's the best thing going. That's The Boys is like right on its tail, but season 4 of Stranger Things, I think I said it last week, is probably the best season of television I've watched in a very, very long time. It was phenomenal. I mean,
still not gonna watch.
I know you're not going to watch it. I've had this conversation with a few people, and it was for a later season. It was just so well done, and the amount of time they put into it, because it's like the first 7 episodes are like 10 and a half or 11 hours, and then the last 2 episodes are 4 hours combined. That's crazy. So
So
you
we
know,
got
it. Good.
We got A Bishop. People said the same thing about the talking hippo that they said about a talking tree. But look at where the sentiment for Groot is now. I'm just gonna let the chat answer that. Guys, does the talking hippo even compare to Groot? Hit him with it in the chat.
Fucking Groot is a character in comics. I don't want to say iconic, but been around forever. Right? No, that's not the same. That's not the same. The hippo's not even in comics. Technically. Kind of, right? Kind of.
Teeters.
No. Sorry. I mean, you're entitled to your opinion, but... all right. Anything else before New Comic Book Day, boys?
No, that's it.
Okay. Let's hit it. Time for that New Comic Book Day show. This is where we pick our top 10 picks of the week for New Comic Book Day, June 15th, 2022. I can't believe this year is halfway over. I think I said that last week. This is where we pick books based on if we like them for the cover, for the story, or a little bit of speculation. And of course, as you know, our boys over at comicbookinvest.com, they got that New Comic Book Day pull list. I think I forgot to link it. So right after this video is over, I'm going to link it in the description below. Chris Nelms is the author of that article, and he drops all of the ratio variants, and he also does all of his picks. So it's a nice little balanced thing that we have going on. We give our picks, he gives his picks, and it kind of covers everyone for all different views for New Comic Book Day every week. So watch us and then go read his article or vice versa, and you're going to be fully covered for every New Comic Book Day. So without further ado, let's get into these books.
Every week begins with Jay.
Here we go. So, guys, this is like a Marvel's tale, right? It collects comics from the 90s. The New Fantastic Four from Walt Simonson and Arthur Adams collects Fantastic Four 347 through 349. When the Fantastic Four fall, the Invisible Woman summons a new blockbuster cast to seek revenge. Who does she seek? Spider-Man, Grey Hulk, Ghost Rider, and Wolverine, guys. My favorite issue of this run. This is a cool little run, guys. And we all know we could read these comics elsewhere if you don't want to purchase the book. But this is a cool book to buy, man. This is an awesome story arc. And $3.49 features my boy the Punisher. So if you don't remember these books from the 90s, this was a nostalgic pick for me. Go check these out. Can you think of a better Fantastic Four? I'm sure you can. In the comments after the video,
original.
Put your this Fantastic Four will beat the shit out of the original Fantastic Four.
You know what? You could say that all you want. Don't matter. The original is the original.
I mean, come on, Matt. Come
Jay,
on, guys.
Jay, don't let it. Jay, he's on his phone, paying attention to something else right now. So don't even let him trick you that he's even listening to what the fuck
I
you're
heard
saying.
everything you said.
He's messaging people right now.
Listen, we got Hellfire versus Johnny Stormfire, right? We got the Hulk versus the Thing. We all know how that goes down. We got Invisible Woman versus Spidey, you think? And then we got Wolverine just shredding Reed to pieces. Matt, come on. Stop it. Cut it out.
All right.
But listen, everyone's entitled to their opinion.
See how many issues this lasts.
No, it lasted 3. It like I said, it's a Marvel. It's just retelling the story.
Yeah. All right.
Golden State just took the lead back, by the way. Watching basketball at the same time. Yeah. But guys, you know I had to pick this book, G.I. Joe Saturday Morning Adventures number 4. I had to do this. It reads, after meddling with the forces beyond his control, Cobra Commander's wishes blow up in his face, and the Aladdin initiative ends in a way he could never have predicted. And now every G.I. Joe and enemy Cobra forces face off on Cobra Island in the battle that could determine the final outcome of their ongoing war and the fate of the world. It's the big finale, so let loose with the battle cry one more time. Yo, Joe. It's just really cool. And all look in the back. You see people back there. You see Storm Shadow back there. You see that. It's just cool. Just cool.
Was this the fucking Aladdin cover?
Yep. I said it's the Aladdin initiative. So I'm on it. I'm on it. That's you got. Anytime you got Cobra and Duke on the cover, you got to go for it.
All right. This guy said this like 3 or 4 times, so I'm just gonna straighten him out real quick.
Yeah.
K405. I don't know if you watched all the reviews, but after like the 3rd and 4th episode, I said I'd no longer liked Moon Knight. Most people liked the first 2 episodes, and then it went downhill from there. So if you watch the rest,
said the guy that liked Moon Knight.
If you weren't just a fly-by-night Defect fan, you would know that I was very disappointed with the last 3 episodes of fucking Moon Knight, which shouldn't even be called. We'll just call it Stephen Grant. Okay? Thanks for coming. Appreciate you.
Maybe you watch the very Gary reviews and see what Matt thought of Moon Knight.
All right, now you got me all fired up.
Tell them why you mad. So tell them why you mad.
Tell them why you mad.
Perfect timing. Perfect timing.
The cuckulated man.
That's not the name of the book.
The cuckulated man kind of looks like that. So, guys, from Aftershock, a calculated man, C-A-L. Joey Callo.
C-A-L-L-O.
Right. So this caught my eye. This looks
Joey
fun.
Gallo's dead.
Joey Gallo's dead. Basically, this is a mob accountant turns on the mob and goes on the run. He goes against them, but then all of a sudden he realizes that his mathematical skills make him like a crazy good assassin. Okay. It just jumped out at me when I read the solicitation. And rumor has it that this has already been optioned for Hulu. Take that as you may. From writer Paul Tobin. This is one I'm going to give it. I'm going to give it a shot. Clearly, somebody read it and they think it's good, and maybe just the premise. But I'm going to give it a shot. I'll let you guys know when number 2 comes out. I'll pick it again and I'll tell you if it was good or bad.
If my wife would ever read a comic book, this would be the one.
This would be the one, right? A lot of math problems on it right there.
Yeah, she could figure all that out.
Spider-Gwen, Gwenverse, number 3 from Tim Seeley and Jody Nishiyama.
Bless you.
The first appearance of an alternate reality Gwen Stacy as Captain America. Meet the Captain America 1954 Gwen Stacy. Ghost Spider's time traveling mission continues as Spider-Gwen has landed in her 1954 universe wielding Captain America's shield, guys. I don't know. I think if you're a Gwen fan, this is a pickup for you. I don't know. I guess they're doing it different than the What If, right? Than the Miles What If. It's funny though how we compared Miles to Gwen before, and how they're neck and neck, Matt. And now we have Miles as Thor. We have Miles as Wolverine. We have Miles as who was the third one?
Oh, it just happened. Hulk,
Falcon?
Wolverine, Captain America.
Oh, Captain
and-
America.
Yeah.
So now we got Spider-Gwen as Captain America, guys. If you're a fan, something you might want to pick up.
I mean, these have been. I'm indifferent about these, right? It's like you almost have to pick them up just because of it's Miles and Gwen, right? And plus they're going through multiverse with all these new characters. I mean, it's worth the cover. It's worth the cover price, right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I mean, these books always heat up for some reason, man.
That's what I'm saying. It's worth having. I mean, it's a cool cover. There's no doubt about it. But it's worth buying it off the shelf and keeping it nice in a bin just in case. You know.
And
I like the
Dave
pick.
said, you got that DNA cover.
Oh yeah.
Ugly.
This should tell you everything you need to know. Hashtag I love hippos. Okay.
Yeah, there you
Now
go.
we know where this guy's coming from. Now we know where this fucking guy's coming
He's
from.
busting balls.
I know he is.
Well, staying on the Captain America train, Captain America Sentinel of Liberty #1. I had to throw the A cover on there. It says the shield isn't what you think. It's not your symbol. It's theirs. The shield is one of the most iconic images in the world. It stands for hope, justice, and the protection of the innocent. It also holds a secret undiscovered until now that will change the way Steve Rogers views the 20th century. And now he chooses to fight and how he chooses to fight in the 21st. Nothing is what it appears in this game-changing Captain America run by Jackson Lansing and Colin Kelly. Listen, Cap stories are cool. People love them. I love this cover. Absolutely love this cover. What is in the shield? Like, what's that reflection, Jay?
I was gonna say, Jay, is that Crossbones?
I can't see. I didn't look at this comment. But you know what? It's Captain America is a man. It's not going to be worth anything.
Wow.
It looks like It could be.
Looks like Crossbones.
Crossbones. Yeah.
But I threw up a couple covers on here. Going on to the next slide, you have the 1 in 25 Clark variant, which is pretty
that
cool.
is
It's going to be
fire,
Crossbones
dude.
because you see Crossbones, you see Red Skull. And who is that on top there, Jay? Is that Zemo too?
No, you got Zemo on there. You got Crossbones.
Crossbones.
That's a sick. That Clark
How
variant
sick is that?
is
Yeah.
dope, dude.
Yep.
That's a
And
dope.
then you got
cover.
the Scotty Young just having fun with it. So
What's up with the lowercase A?
what?
That's a
It's
good
the
point. I
lowercase
didn't
A.
even notice that. What's the lowercase A on his head? Scotty Young.
I think he's always done a lowercase A. 'Cause
Steve
he's
Rogers is now like the sidekick Captain America.
He's a
That's
little.
why.
He's a little Captain
He's
America.
a
Like
little dude.
like a little
He's a
A.
little-
Get it? Little Captain America.
Yeah. He's like the Funko Pop version.
Wow. But all cool covers, I think. I think that the Clark cover is really crazy.
UniX, stamp of approval right here.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, that cover is fire.
Where can we find that? I gotta find that somewhere. Help me out, Defects.
This cover.
And
is
help him
fire,
out. Send him
too.
all the horror you can find this week.
No.
Spider-Man from Marvel, Spider-Man 2099 Exodus #2. This is purely a speculation pick from me. I have no desire to read this. We get Loki 2099, Avengers 2099. I don't know if there was a cameo for Loki, but this is clearly he's on the cover. He's fully in the story. And then looks like we're getting Avengers 2099 in here. Why not? Why not have that in the collection for fucking 20 years down the road? That's really all I have on this one. just straight speculative pick because you never know. And I like 2099 characters. I collected them in the 90s when I was a kid. And Guy Forge remembers. I fucking loved all those 2099 books. I had them all. So why not? Some honorable mentions, Guy. Not too many this week. Not much going on this week.
No, you got Tony Snark. Tony Stank.
Tony Stank
smooching up in the clouds over here. Proposing to Patsy Walker in Iron Man number 20. How you doing?
How you doing?
And we had to mention this coming up
Doing
after
a midair hump.
All right, let's
Gotta
move
love
on.
it.
Let me ask you though, if you were Iron Man, would that be like on your bucket list? Take a girl up in the clouds?
How you doing it through the suit, bro?
I was just thinking.
I mean, he's Tony Stark. He's got
Picking her
everything
up
else
in the
going
cloud.
on. You don't think you can
Everything
figure
else
that out?
just opens up? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, like just that portion. You know how sometimes he just breaks out like the hand or his face. Same thing.
Nah.
I don't know about that.
I need flexible hip movement if I'm going to be doing anything in the sky.
Angles.
Iron
Jay said
condom.
angles. Next up, you got Street Fighter Swimsuit Special 2022.
Clearly.
How you doing? I don't know. Maybe
I don't think there's much to say about this one.
Nah,
right?
you don't have to say much about it. You could just go buy it if you want it.
I think this was out last year too, right? 2021.
This I was
This
really
is cool.
close to pick it. I was
Yeah.
close to picking this book, by the way, when I in my picks this week. Do a Power Bomb number 1. What a name for a book.
That's fucking great.
This girl wants to be a pro wrestler, lives in the shadow of her mother's success before her. Everything changes when the wrestling obsessed, how do you say that? Necromancer asks Lana to
Necromancer.
join the grandest and the most dangerous pro wrestling tournament of all time. Nice.
You know it's going to be a little bit of horror, right?
Yeah, I know. All right.
Okay, just as long as you know.
That's why I said I almost picked it.
Almost.
This
Iron-
you know what? I should have picked this book this week. This book.
Iron Fist
is the
number
one I should have
4
picked.
from Marvel. You got Enter the Immortal Weapons, right? Fat Cobra and the Bride of the Nine Spiders.
Yeah, guys.
I don't know if go ahead, Jeff.
That's a hot book. And listen, if you like those two characters, Immortal Iron Fist number 8, I believe. Yeah, I think it's number 8 you should pick up. First appearance of those two characters, guys. But this run, I read the first issue. I liked it, guys. I'm gonna hop on this run heavy this week.
What were the names again, Guy?
Fat Cobra and
Bride of the Nine Spiders? Yeah.
You know what I said? What did I say?
No, I was curious.
I think that's what I said.
Are they on the
Fat
cover
Cobra.
there?
Fat
I'm
Cobra.
assuming that's them on the cover, right?
I guess it could be.
E Honda and
I'm not fat, I'm big boned.
That's Piston Honda.
no, it's E Honda. Oh God, I think that's it. Yeah, I think that's it for New Comic Book Day.
We gotta get
What is it?
a song. We gotta get a
June
song. for the
15th. We
comic
need
book
like a
day.
jingle. We need something. We need an
An
intro and an outro.
something. Yeah.
What the fuck are we doing over here?
I don't know. Slacking.
We're getting lazy. I mean, we just make good content. That's all we do. That's all we do. Got a little present.
Oh,
here.
should I drop this? Look, speaking of contact, the Defects always give you the straight facts on what's going on in the world of comics.
Where'd
Who the
that come
How
fuck
about
said
that?
Is that like
That's
are we
That's something that's said all around the world.
do we get reviewed somewhere? Like, you know how like they do like the little reviews, like, and
It's
they show
written-
like the little quotes?
It's written somewhere, like in quotation marks.
Yeah.
And that's, you know what they also say? They also say
What?
that we're here to give you news, hot opinions, and serious spec.
Did I watch the show?
I don't know.
Is that all they said?
No, they've said
We
other
got a
things
Yelp
too.
review.
We do.
Can the Defects get Yelp reviews? I swear to God, guys, if
Well, we
you
can
give
always-
us Yelp reviews, we'll do a fucking giveaway. If
We
we
can
have
always
like
say,
if somebody
listen.
creates a Yelp thing for us and does like 10, if we get 10 Yelp reviews, we'll do a giveaway. All right, that would be
Can you-
fucking great.
Can you guys one at a time say thanks for tuning into our podcast?
Oh, and we have to do that, right?
Yeah.
We have to do that. Yeah, nah.
No?
Nah.
Why don't you tell them about our podcast, Matt?
Why don't you tell them about your podcast?
Why don't you tell them about it?
I always talk about the podcast at the end of the show.
Jay, you want to know where we're streaming live?
Sure.
I'm
On
streaming.
Facebook
And Twitter.
and Twitter
And YouTube, clearly.
and YouTube. Well, we're on YouTube, yeah.
And we have the podcast in case you don't
We're
want
the
to see our.
podcast.
I mean, this week I feel like you have to watch it because Jassy was on. You want it. You know what I mean? But usually when it's just us, you don't want to see our faces, right? So go download the podcast. This way, when you're driving, you don't have to crash. You just listen to us. Audible, Spotify, iTunes, Google Cast. I don't know what the rest of them are called. You guys know. Just search Pressable Defects and you find us.
And just in case, if you're listening on the podcast, head over to YouTube and check us out at Pressable Defects. Search Pressable Defects. We'll come up on there. So.
Oh yeah, if you're on the podcast, this is where the magic happens on YouTube. So that's where you got to be. We got a little present from Doug Bratton, good member, really good member of the comic book community. Hey Matt, Jay, and Guy, hope you all enjoy this. Doug. Doug Bratton.
Doug. I like short and to the point. I like it.
Perfect. I didn't have to read much. Doug Bratton wrote a comic book. All right, or he's in the process of it, and he has a little ash can. These are limited to 100 right now with Reggie Simmons from Reggie Collects. Isolation #1, a little ash can preview. This is dope. Hold up.
How's your ash can?
It's doing pretty
That
good
is
right
dope,
now,
man.
I'll tell you that.
They did a
Look at
good
that.
job on that.
That is fucking dope. That is
I'm not
right
afraid
up
of that at
Guy's
all.
alley.
Thanks,
Deja,
man.
Who's the company
Deja
that?
Gunderson.
Who's the company that did that for them?
It's a new company. I don't know if you've heard of it.
Swolder?
That's Reggie. Swolder Publishing. So we got 3 copies, one for each of Defects. Thank you, Doug Bratton. Guys, go check him out on IG. They did the guide, the collector's guide, which was really cool. And now he's been working. What the hell, Matt Forge? What the fuck are you doing?
He did Iron Fist?
You can't get enough fat Cobra in your life.
Yeah, I know. And now he's writing this comic series, Isolation. So it's pretty cool. You know what? I don't care if it's good or bad. I'm sure it's going to be good because I know Doug and he's a smart guy. But he's a big member of the community. So we're going to be supporting this regardless, no matter what. Okay? Because that's what you do. We got to keep this community strong, and that's what we're going to do. But I'm sure I literally just opened, so I haven't read it yet. But I'm going to read it before next week, and I'm going to let you guys know how it is. He's like I said, he's a fucking smart guy, so I know it's going to be good. He's been working on this for a while. So
Appreciate that, Doug.
what else you guys got? What a fucking show, man. 2 hours, over 2 hours. I am fucking annihilated right now.
I was asleep.
Fucking hate you guys.
I gotta hop on IG and buy myself a Nerdy Girl mystery box, I guess.
Wow.
No? They're all the
On that-
rave.
On that note,
That's when it got a little dark.
a little bit.
Between that and whatnot, it just got dark like real quick during that segment with Jassy. It was like I was like, "Fuck, I don't know what to say right now."
Yeah, listen,
I-
Jassy was awesome, dude.
she really was good.
Yeah.
She really,
You came out and go, maybe that wasn't the question to ask.
yeah. She's so honest, and I fucking love it because that fits our channel.
First you
she
jumped
just
into the
wants-
box battles, and she's like, I don't know what you're talking about.
She's like, "What the fuck are you talking about, Matt
That's
Forge?"
on the
I was like,
OnlyFans
"Oh god."
channel.
You know why that was so jarring to me? Because usually I feel like I'm pretty on point. Like I don't want to pat myself on the back, but usually I'm well prepared for the shows, right? Wouldn't you say? So it's not like I come out of left field with something that I don't know what, like totally off topic. So when she said that, I was like, "Oh god, how fucking old am I getting?" Like, was that like a different show, or was that like something I imagined? You know, I'm having weird dreams lately, so you never know. But whew, she saved me. She saved me because that was, yeah, that was. I actually wrote that one down. So.
Oh boy.
All right, I'm just babbling at this point. I got nothing left for you boys and girls.
Nice.
What What do we got next? Anything? Show Monday? That's it.
Yeah, that's it. Terrificon coming up. I can't wait. It's gonna be a party. If you could make it, guys, come hang out. I can't emphasize that enough. It's a good time.
I think July, end of July. You will see us. I think we're gonna do a show. I think we're gonna do like a. First thing we're gonna do is just like a grand opening giveaway show on whatnot. No sales. So you definitely wanna. If we didn't do the link yet, but if you're on whatnot, just search Pressable Defects. Follow us. First thing we're gonna do is just have a party. We're gonna go on there. We're gonna do a show on there, 30 minutes probably. Do some giveaways. We'll probably dual stream on YouTube, but you know, you want to jump on whatnot just to support us on the platform, and then we'll go from there. We'll see how it goes. But definitely coming to whatnot at some point. I just has we got to do the trivia night with Bird City. I don't want to go too much longer without doing that.
Next
But
week.
we got to do that soon. What's up?
Next week. 2 weeks. We got to prepare for that.
We got to prepare for that. That's going to take some time. It's going to take effort from all three of us to get that ready. So we definitely have to plan that out. Maybe we'll get together on a weekend. We got to do it in June because once July hits, we ain't going to do it. There's just too much going on in July. So
how uncomfortable would it be if they came on and we had Eva host it? I think that's quality.
I don't think it would be
right
uncomfortable for us.
No, not for us.
That would be fucking phenomenal. Oh, God. That would be really good. We got to figure that out.
All right, we'll talk.
Yeah, and maybe we should do that offline. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Boys and girls, we love you. Thanks for hanging.
You forgot you were on like live.
I feel like I did. Started taking my hat off. I'm so tired. Yep. All right. We'll see you next Monday. Make sure you guys are following Jassy. All that link crap is in the description. Guy got Starscream. He's happy because his pop girlfriend came on. Yep. And all right, Defects, thanks for making the show.